York, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Michael K. is on the radio today, and he ain't afraid to say what he's thinking. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN Radio.
And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. We thank you for joining us on this Election Day, Tuesday. It's November 4th. It's 2025. Me and you for two. And the jumping off point is news that just came down during the Bart Carlin show is that Sauce Gardner has been traded by the New York Jets to the Indianapolis Colts for 2 first-round draft picks, a 2026 pick and a 2027 pick. And also a player that is yet to be identified. It's a bold move by the Jets, who are not going anywhere this year, but it does call into some question. You had just signed him to a contract extension. You had him under control for this year and next, and the extension, which was for big money, has not even kicked in yet. And when that extension was signed, well, the coach of the Jets, Aaron Glenn, said that Sauce Gardner is a foundational piece of the team. A foundational piece. And now, 8 games into the season, he has been traded. Now, it's a bold move by Indianapolis Colts, who are emboldened by the fact that they've gotten off to a great start behind Daniel Jones, and they're going for it. They think they have enough to be able to nail it down and maybe win a game or two in the playoffs, maybe even go further. The Jets, well, it's a lost season, and they give away a quote-unquote foundational piece, which makes you beg the question, did he disappoint after those words were spoken? Did those words not ring true to many, where Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji probably gave him the extension with the hope of maybe being able to trade him? I'm not quite sure about that, but it is an odd move, to be sure, an absolutely odd move. I think it's a good return for the Jets. We're also finding out now from Adam Schefter, as part of the trade, the Jets are also receiving wide receiver A.D. Mitchell. That's according to Adam Schefter. So they get a wide receiver and 2 first-round draft picks. Now, remember, the draft pick that they'll get now in 2026 will be a low first-round draft pick, because the Colts are really good, and they're going to have a really good record. So what's it going to be, a 26, 27? That sort of draft pick, not quite sure, but it's not going to be a big time needle mover for sure. So strange times for the Jets. I would not even criticize this move if Aaron Glenn had not said the words that he said. Foundational piece. So I guess he's not. So either he underachieved, you fibbed, or this offer was so good that you had to make the trade. Now, they do remove money off the cap, which is important, but that's a player that you have to replace. Brandon Stevens, A.Z. Thomas have played well, and I guess that they will move in for Sauce Gardner. Now, I have a really good friend who's a really big Jet fan, and he texted me when the deal came down, and he said straight out, Sauce Gardner can go kick rocks. Never liked Gardner. Didn't feel that Gardner was worth the extension. Didn't feel that Gardner was all that. You know, he was highly touted. Got the big money. Was a first-round draft pick. But my buddy never was that high on him. So he's thrilled that this trade is made. The Jets are obviously building for the future. But you're trading away a foundational piece. Those are the words that resonate with me. So are you giving up on next year too? Because they got to get a quarterback. So now they have 2 first-round draft picks. Theirs, which is going to be, a very high first-round draft pick because you're going to have a terrible record. And then this one, which is probably going to be a low first-round draft pick because the Colts are going to have a very good record. Curious, right? But shocking. You're all out there. You're probably as shocked as I am. Now, remember, the Jets do not have a second-rounder this year because that was traded. So now they have 2 first-rounders, and that makes up for the loss of the second-rounder as well. I guess when you look at it and you separate yourself from that line foundational piece, it's a pretty good trade for the Jets. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere probably next year. where they'll have to draft a quarterback and probably make that quarterback, fit into their system. And remember, this is not a Glenn or a Muji pick. But the thing that overrides that, in my opinion, is that Glenn and Muji gave him the big contract extension. You know what I'm saying? So they must have liked him. Yeah, I know he was picked by Joe Douglas, but you just gave him the contract extension. And then you turn around and trade him. I think it comes down to the fact, too good of a deal to turn down. 2 first-round draft picks, too good of a deal to turn down. 1-800-919-3776. A lot of people are chattering. A lot of people want to get in on this. We'll get to you right now. I want to take your pulse. Again, a massively disappointing Jet season to this point. Hey, maybe they could win this Sunday against Cleveland, but now they'll be doing it without Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner, about 20 minutes ago, tweeted out, New York, it's been real. So going to Indianapolis, and he'll try to make it work there. He, obviously was a good player for the Jets. I don't think he was ever a great player, wasn't a great tackler or anything like that. The Jets didn't put him in a defense where he could really excel with a lot of picks, because that was not what Robert Saleh really wanted, where he would always follow the best receiver. That's not what they did. You thought that he would have a better statistical season under Aaron Glenn and his defensive philosophy, but he's been hurt, obviously, with the concussion as well. So a big trade by the Jets. The trade deadline is 4 o'clock today, and the Jets pull off a really big one. We're waiting to see if the Giants do anything. And let's start it off with Danny on Long Island. Danny, what do you got?
Well, I'm shocked at the trade. I mean, it's a keynote name for the Jets, but I agree with you, buddy, that I don't think he was ever as good as he was led to believe. When you do something very good in New York, all of a sudden, you're Revis Island, you're the greatest ever. And particularly the fact that, remember, he didn't go to the other side of the field. He only played under Saleh on the right side. What are you, crazy? So the other team knows where you are and they could avoid you. And the cornerback position, and I watched my Steelers go to 4 Super Bowls without any really good cornerbacks. It's defensive ends, it's linebackers, it's nose tackle, it's a free safety. Because when the defense comes out now, there are 4 cornerbacks on the field. They're 4 wide. They're 5 sometimes. So there's only 1 left tackle. That's a foundational piece. There's only 1 guy playing defensive end. So that's a foundational piece. The way the game is played now, the role of the cornerback, it's been reduced because it's so you can't defend like
All
you
right,
used
so
to
let's
defend.
say that you're right about that. Why'd the coach say it?
I don't know what this coach is thinking. This coach picks fights. This coach says things. I don't know what's going on. You can't figure out what they're thinking these days. But I think it was a good move.
Just because of the return, and you don't think that quarterback is that important,
right? In a salary cap league, every salary must be taken into account with every move. Now, it's not baseball where every move has to be judged with opening up salary cap and can this guy be replaced for that value. Too many times in football, and if you look at my T.J. Watt right now, he's being paid for what he used to do. He's not worth that money anymore. So they can replace Sauce Gardner with a much less paid position guy and pick up other things along the way.
Good stuff. Thank you, Danny. So Danny with the first review of the deal, not that high on a big time cornerback, and somebody just said on Twitter, the Jets don't have a 3rd rounder. They do have their 2nd rounder. So I'll have to make sure. But thank you to Matt who pointed that out. So they were missing one of those picks, and now they have that 2nd first rounder. Hey, bottom line, they're in a rebuilding situation. I can't believe that it was just a little over a year ago. They were 2-3, and Aaron Rodgers was their quarterback, and they ill-advisedly fired Robert Saleh. And now you trade away, a former first-round draft pick that so many people had high praise for, and you get 2 first-round draft picks for him. Again, the trade on the surface, it's a good return for cornerback. Get it? Got it. Good. But we're looking at a long rebuild here. We really are. And I'm of the opinion you do not get that much time to rebuild. I mean, so if Aaron Glenn thinks he's going to get a full 5 years to turn this around, he's got another thing coming because there's going to be a lot of heat. If they finish this season 2-15, he's not going to have that much deeper into next year to get this done. Let's go to Dave in the car. Dave, what do you think?
I don't like it. I called in earlier, Michael. I called in the other shows. I don't like it because let me give you an example, and maybe you can see my perspective.
Uh-huh.
When Detroit rebuilt, they picked up Goff, who was, had went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then they got Panay Sewell. They got some big linemen. The rest of that roster was flat. No one knew who anyone was. It was bereft of talent. The Jets are not bereft of talent. They're a very young team with some quality players. If they weren't injured right now, let me ask you this. If the Jets had everyone on this roster with Sauce Gardner healthy and Jared Goff was the quarterback, would the Jets not be a hell of a football team?
Yeah, but that's a big if.
I don't like the deal.
They don't have Jared Goff.
Okay.
I mean, they know they don't have that
Okay,
quarterback.
so why is everyone so happy about the return when we have an organization that has proven fundamentally, strategically, and psychologically they know how to draft players and destroy them, then coach them up? Get the two picks.
Now that's a good point.
Let's see what you can do with it.
That's a good point because it's this organization that's going to make this pick, and have they distinguished themselves as making great picks? Now this is the early going of Muji, right? So only time will tell how good he is, and I believe that Aaron Glenn's above Muji anyway. I think Aaron Glenn is the head of the football operations, and Muji was hired after him, so that tells you all you need to know. And how is Aaron Glenn going to be making picks? We shall see. Remember, Aaron Glenn thought that Justin Fields was the guy. That was his selection. That's why I laughed when Woody ripped Justin Fields and complimented Aaron Glenn. Well, Aaron Glenn Justin Fields didn't trade himself, didn't sign himself. He didn't. Aaron Glenn did that. So that's what Aaron Glenn looked at and said, I got to have that guy. That guy has not been good other than his last game. 1-800-919-3776. Dennis in Center Reach. Dennis. Hey, Dan.
Good afternoon, Michael. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good, thank you. Michael, you make a great point. I think back of what Aaron Rodgers said in that McAfee interview. If you remember, he was like, Aaron Glenn, was like, we're going a different direction. And he said that the GM, Muji, went and basically apologized to him. So Aaron Glenn is definitely the top dog in the Jets. So this is my 2 points, Michael. This is why it's 2 red flags for Aaron Glenn. First of all, because I'm saying he's the one making these moves. You give Sauce Gardner the top cornerback tag. You're paying him to be the best player, best cornerback in the sport.
Right.
So either A, you don't think he's good enough because you just traded someone who's probably, 24 years old. So either you valued him way too high thinking he was better than he was, or you're trading someone who has talent and could help you for air, right? Draft picks are air. You don't know what you're going to get with them. So I think the Jets, I don't really like Sauce Gardner. I don't think he's that great. He's bad in man coverage. He does a lot of pass interferences. But if you're going to pay someone to be top dog, top cornerback, you can't trade him after 8 weeks. And let me ask you something, Michael. You'll probably know better than me. In the NFL, there's always dead cat whenever you make a trade. So the Jets aren't just getting off this contract. I'm sure they're going to have to eat some money, right?
I'm going to find that out, Dennis. It's a good point. I'm not quite sure how much they will eat because this hasn't even kicked in yet. He's still working on his rookie contract. So it looks like from this point, again, I don't want to say anything with certitude, it looks like the Colts have to pick up the entire extension that they gave him because that hasn't even kicked in. He's on the 4th year of his rookie contract, I believe. Mike Greenberg, who obviously is a big Jet fan, he said, I will forever root for Sauce. He's a good player and a good guy, but this is a fabulous trade for the Jets. Damian Woody tweeted out, that's a heck of a trade for the Jets. Let's go to David on the east side. David.
Michael, what to say? First of all, congratulations to Sauce Gardner on getting out of this dumpster fire. I'm happy for him, if only for that. I think I'm a little more pessimistic about this. I don't think this was a great trade. If you look at the Tankathon rankings or whatever they call them, the Colts are right now the best team in football, and they would have. They could win the Super Bowl. They could have the last pick. I see these as really second rounders, not first rounders. It's just, and one of them's in 2027.
Right.
As a Jets fan, I just don't have the patience for this anymore. At least with Sauce, I could emotionally invest in Garrett Wilson. I could invest in those players and root for them. I thought the offense was very good. I think the defense needed improvement, and Sauce should have been a piece of that.
Well, it's kind of split down the middle so far in the phone calls that we've taken. Sauce Gardner was the guy that the Jets built up, and then when, he's called a foundational piece by the coach and they give him that big extension, Jet fans, their heart goes, okay, he's going to be here a long time. Well, he's not. He's gone. He's not going to be here. Fast and Furious stuff coming in. I want to give it to you all. Jets, according to Ben Volen, Jets take surprisingly low dead money cap hit by trading Gardner, just $8 million this year and $11 million in 2026. So the previous caller had asked how it affects them. So $8 million this year. This year's, essentially over anyway. What's the big deal? And then $11 million next year. So that's going to be on the rookie deal. And then obviously the extension, the Colts are picking up the whole thing. Let's go to Jordan in East Islip. Jordan.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for having me. If you'll let me kind of go for a minute, because I just think right now every Jet fan coming on here trying to justify this as if it's not just an overall bad look is just a typical Jet fan who convinces himself that with Justin Fields going into this year, we're going to be a good team. First of all respect to Danny. I know he knows ball, but Sauce Gardner this year, Aaron Glenn has him covering the best player on the field, unlike Robert Saleh, and he's having his best year since his rookie year. Secondly, in terms of the cap, the Jets are still going into next year. Prior to trading Sauce, they were going into next year with the sixth most available cap space in the entire NFL. So congratulations on saving that money and getting those 2 draft picks, who you hope turn into a player like Sauce Gardner. Because even aside from the play on the field, the kid has done almost everything right in New York, never been a problem. He's committed to the franchise, this poverty franchise that players don't want to commit to, he has committed to. And on top of that, him and Garrett Wilson, who you also just extended, are tight. They speak about making each other better players. How is this guy not a part of your thing going forward? In the name of, like I said, draft picks. I'm sick of having draft picks as a Jet fan. We always have draft picks. Great. What do they turn into? Nothing.
You made a great point, though, Jordan. I want to piggyback that with the Cowboys. When the Cowboys got those draft picks from the Packers from Micah Parsons, what do you want to get with those draft picks, right, Jordan? You want Micah Parsons. So what do you want to get with the draft picks that the Jets have? You want to have a player like Sauce Gardner. And, I know that draft capital is so valuable in the NFL. I mean, almost to a point of overwhelming teams' eyesight. But you got to make the right picks. And once you get that player, and in the Jets' case, you think that player is Sauce Gardner, then you end up trading him. I could see if that you had not signed the extension. Let's get something for him. We don't think he's going to be that valuable. But here you go. You trade him right away. Now, Adam Schefter is saying the Jets now have 4 first-round draft picks the next 2 years. Tim Kawakami tweets out, interesting, looking up Gardner's contract details, only $40 million of the $120.4 million is guaranteed, and $25.5 million of that is due as guaranteed salary next season. No major dead money. Very interesting, a rare, huge, long-term deal that was very easy to trade. Let's go to Donnie in Staten Island. Donnie.
Michael, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Donnie. How you doing?
I'm heated.
Tell me why.
I'm heated. Okay, so listen, as you know, listened to you a very long time, respect you, appreciate you, everything in the knowledge of sports. But what are we doing here? Like, it feels like the quarters in the merry-go-round keeps going. Mm-hmm. So you're going to unload him after you said, okay, here's your extension, you're the foundation, and we cannot lie. He has been a top 2 shutdown corner. Yes, he doesn't get his physical. Yes, he doesn't get interception. But he's shut down. I mean, the stats don't lie. Am I right on that point?
Well, I mean, this year's the first year that you really get a good sense of him covering people one-on-one. But with Saleh, he was on one side of the field, so you can't really say he was shutting anybody down because the best receiver they just put to the other side. That was a very stubborn thing that Saleh did that I didn't understand, especially when you have an elite, a supposedly elite corner in Sauce Gardner, and he was lined up sharply with that theory. I'm not moving my guys. I'm not going to follow the best wide receiver. Now, Graphics Joker, great listener to the show, had a great line. You say that he doesn't get a lot of interceptions. Graphic Joker tweets out, Sauce finally got some picks for the Jets this season. Let's go to Jay in Long Island. Jay.
Hey, what's going on, Michael? How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you? How do you feel?
I'm good. Listen, my brother's a huge Jets fan. I'm a Giants fan, but I'm also have some roots in the Jets. I know you say can you do that? I'm a New York guy. But even though I'm a Giants fan, and listen, just to say this, I know we're talking Jets. I'd love to see Spagnuolo as the head coach for the Giants, and I would like to hear your thoughts about that. You know, as a second go around, and I think he'd make that defense great, keep the offensive coordinator. But for the Jets, listen, I mean, I don't know how you're not ecstatic about this deal. Listen. Sauce Gardner is one of the most overrated players in the league. He has 3 career interceptions. The guy doesn't take the ball away. I mean, for a guy that's a first-round pick, you want a guy that's going to get interceptions, and the guy can't tackle. He gets run over. He makes arm tackles. For Glenn's defense, he likes corners that are going to be able to make plays and tackle. He's not I know Jets fans are upset because they're sentimental, and how can you do? Listen, you could find quarterbacks that are better than him. You could find quarterbacks that are going to fit Glenn's system better than him. The guy doesn't turn over the ball. He can't really tackle. I think it's a great trade, and for a team that's looking for their quarterback, whether they don't take a quarterback this year, they can have that first-round pick in 27 if there is a guy, and package those 2 first-round picks and get that quarterback. So listen, I think it's a great deal, and a team that's not going anywhere, you need those picks.
Yeah, but I will tell you this, Jay. I don't think you made a statement that you can get a quarterback like that, a cornerback like that anywhere. No, you can't. He's an elite talent at that position. And I wouldn't have a problem with the trade because if you think he's overrated, right? And if you think that he doesn't tackle and he's not physical and he doesn't get turnovers because he doesn't pick the ball off, then why did they give him that contract extension? Do they not know what they're seeing? This is the same group, the same football experts that said Justin Fields is a quarterback moving forward. Here's a 2-year deal. We think that he's the guy. Now, this is also the group that gave Sauce Gardner, the guy that you're saying is not that good, not physical, doesn't get picks. They gave him a very expensive contract extension to play cornerback for them after the initial rookie deal. So were they that far off, or were they completely overwhelmed by 2 first-round draft picks that I don't think are going to be very high first-round draft picks? Now, I know what you're saying. You can package your first-round draft pick with their first-round draft pick and maybe move up. But the way it is right now, how much further up are you going to move than the Jets? They could be 2-15. You're not going to have to move up. You're not going to have to move up. You're right there. You're going to be right there to pick the quarterback that you want. I think we are staring, and I'm sorry, Jet fans, because this year is going to be 15 years in a row without making the playoffs. I think you're staring at a long time, a long rebuild. They're very cavalier about this. They really are. We're going to change our culture, this and that. They haven't done anything. It's a mess. The coach gets into battles, foolish, mindless battles with the media about who's going to be the quarterback this weekend. You know who the quarterback's going to be? It's going to be Justin Fields. And if it's anybody else, I mean, you really have to sit down and talk with Aaron Glenn and go, what are you thinking? How is it good that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the quarterback? How? A 36-year-old. How's that good moving forward, especially coming back off a game where Justin Fields actually showed something? So there's parts that don't fit. The trade fits because you're getting 2 first-round draft picks for a top-flight player, and you're not going to win anytime soon. But it doesn't fit when you say he's foundational. That means you're going to build around him. That's what makes it not fit. Could they have been that wrong about a player? Because they've been wrong about the quarterback, right? Now they're going to be wrong about the cornerback. It's a little scary. It's a little scary. Let's go to Joe in West Harrison.
There. Let me get this call.
Thanks a lot,
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. What's up?
Nothing much. Yeah, I'm more in favor. I was also one of the guys who did not want that extension at that number. I have no problem giving it to a wide receiver. And it's like they say, I understand he could run with anybody in this league. We know that. But his ball skills are not great. And like the other guys have said, he gets nicked up a lot. He gets hurt a lot. And I would have definitely made it sure. But you also make a great point. Why sign him to a big extension if you weren't going to keep him? That's an administration problem itself for sure. But
yeah,
I'm glad
that's what worries me, Joe, because these are the people who are going to make the
Mike,
pick.
You're right. Exactly. Who are they going to pick? They can do that right?
Yeah, because if they've been that far off on their evaluations of the quarterback and now the cornerback, well, do we have a real good feeling about them making draft picks moving forward? There's no way that they were playing 4-dimensional chess. Well, let's sign Sauce to this big money extension, and then we'll turn around and trade him. That was not the intent. So they probably didn't know what they had, or they misevaluated him. And after seeing him play and seeing him around the facility, maybe they don't like him. So they get seduced by these 2 first-round draft picks. How could you make a commitment to a guy and say you're going to build around him? Because foundational means when you're building a building, the foundation holds everything up. So he and Garrett Wilson are foundational pieces. Well, now you've ripped one of the foundations out. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? So you looked at this guy as foundational, and now, a couple of months into the season, now he's not. He's gone because we want 2 first-round draft picks. So the same people that made the bad evaluation of the quarterback and now the cornerback, that's the people that are going to be making these picks. I don't know. That doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy. Hey, YouTube TV customers, get the sports you love on ESPN back, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Act now. Go to keepmynetworks.com to get ESPN back. We'll continue to peel back the onion on this, try to get more people on, talk to you as well. Big trade if you just tuned in. Sauce Gardner goes to the Colts, 2 first-round draft picks, 26, 27, and a wide receiver. So there you have it. The Jets making the first major move for the New York teams. We still have about, let's see, it's 4 o'clock. That 4 o'clock would be the trade deadline, so 2.5 hours from now. Maybe there's more. Maybe the Giants are going to come with a big one as well. We're here covering it all, and then Don Hahn and Rosenberg as well. The K-Show going till 3, right here on ESPN New York.
Tuesday with Don Hahn and Rosenberg. Are you starting to believe in the Knicks and Mike Brown's system?
Speed pass, Sarr, and throw it down with the right hand. Karl Anthony Towns has been dominant tonight.
And the Jets have traded Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts. Will there be more moves before the deadline? Don Hahn and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is live when others aren't. New customers, bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100 A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Score or win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, 24/7 service, and up to 30 days to pay your invoice. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, New York and New Jersey's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomins.com.
Harry Douglas here. Fellas, it's time to step up your grooming game. Manscaped just leveled up with the Lawnmower 5 and the Chairman Plus, two powerhouses built for unmatched precision, comfort, and control. Whether you're cleaning up before a night out, preparing for a big meeting, or getting ready for a game day, Manscaped has the tools to help you look and feel your absolute best. These aren't just old school clippers. They're engineered for modern men who take pride in their daily routine. So upgrade your grooming gear and experience the difference. And now you can find Manscaped products at your local Walmart.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has all the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats right at your fingertips, get personalized parlays built just for you, and with your fantasy teams synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Welcome back to the show. So if you just joined us, Sauce Gardner has been traded, 2 first-round draft picks, and A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell, a wide receiver, second-round pick last year, and obviously under control for 2 more years. So the Jets do get a wide receiver to go along with Garrett Wilson, but they lose Sauce Gardner, and really looking forward to seeing what Marcus Spears has to say. It's time for the Marcus Spears Report, brought to you by Bet365. Marcus, thanks for joining us. What are your thoughts on this deal by the Jets?
Man, I'm still processing, obviously. Obviously, we know what Sauce was regarded as one of those one of the best corners. But I think how I make sense of it, Mike, is that this is a direct sign of trying to retool this roster and filling spaces of need, getting some draft capital, and trying to kind of dig deep in a holistic approach to the roster as opposed to a plug-and-play guy. And obviously, Sauce had a lot of premium value to teams for them to get what they got back compensation-wise. And if no one has seen A.D. Mitchell, he should be really good across from Garrett Wilson. Really good receiver, out of Texas, speed, and kind of over in Indianapolis, it was more about Pittman, and they got Tyler Warren, and obviously Taylor in the backfield. So they probably felt like he was a piece that could be moved in order to acquire a cornerback. That's a team that's trying to make a run at the Super Bowl this year, and I think Sauce absolutely helps that. And in the Jets regard, you get draft capital, and hopefully you can start building deeper into your roster as opposed to trying to Band-Aid things. And, let's be honest, they're going to be in the quarterback market. So as much capital as you have, whether that's trying to get a guy via trade or whether that's being in the draft and having opportunities to move up, if you identify somebody that you like a lot, this will go a long way with them holding those picks.
Well, there's so many layers to this, Marcus, that I want to ask you about. Doesn't it send mixed messages? Because when you sign this guy to that big money extension, the coach said he's a foundational piece. Now, a couple of months into the season, you traded him. I know it's seductive to get the 2 first-round draft picks, but you traded somebody that you said was a foundational piece. Do you think they found out they didn't like him after being around him for a couple of months, or were the first round picks just so seductive that they had to say, okay, we're trading a foundational piece?
Yeah, Mike, we gonna laugh, bro. Everybody's a foundational piece until you can get 2 first rounders for them. Mm-hmm. Like that is, that is what you say when the guy's in your building. We've seen lies. You've been in it longer than me. We've seen lies after lies after lies. And a part of it is a necessity because it's a business, and you have to be forward thinking. And when a guy's in your organization, you want to support him and promote him as much as you possibly can. In order not only for his value, but to have him go out and perform at the highest level for you. So I don't think it was a lie about the idea of Sauce being a foundational piece until 2 first-round picks and a wide receiver came along with it, and it changes. So, I'm a Dallas fan. We traded Micah Parsons, who was a foundational piece. So the league shouldn't surprise people when that kind of coach speak come out, and then you see these type of trades.
See, but the thing about the Cowboy trade, right? So you got those picks from Green Bay, which aren't going to be great picks because Green Bay's pretty good. And then with those picks, you dream about getting, let me think, Micah Parsons. And the Jets picks that they have, they're going to dream about getting, let's see, Sauce Gardner. And this is still a really young player. And by making a deal like this, I don't know if you agree with me, Marcus, the Jets are telling their fans it's going to be a long time till we're good, a long time.
I don't agree with you, Mike, and I love you. But what position does your franchise need, regardless of how good other people are, to move
quarterback?
Forward? And that's why you make a trade for 2 first-round draft picks. Like we are in this. The beautiful thing about this league that we cover is that we live in the now, we live in the future, and we live in the past, right? And we try to disseminate how these things are going to turn out right now based on what's happening right now. But if you look up a year and a half from now, as mad as the fans may be, or 2 years from now, you got a franchise quarterback, and everybody is under that impression and understands it because they're playing that way, and you got guys around him. We won't ever talk about the Sauce Gardner trade in a bad light again. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, that's down the road. It's just like with Micah. I was very upset that Dallas traded Micah. But 2 or 3 years from now, if you have a really good football team competing for a championship, and some of that trade capital that you use as a result of that, then we that's forgivable, and we will forget that, and we'll be focused on what the team is doing now. The Jets have been in this purgatory of not having a quarterback, and it doesn't guarantee that you're gonna have a good one because y'all drafted. They drafted
Zach Wilson,
a quarterback, in the top 5 a few years ago. That didn't work out. But the hope and the value of that position had people excited. Zach didn't turn out to be what he needed to be. But again, you can have the cornerback, you can have the deep tackle in Quinnen, you can have the linebacker, you can have the running back in Brees, you can have all of that. If you don't have that position, you got no shot. And we all know that. We just have visceral reactions to things like this. So if this trade is about that, and this organization is trying to figure out a way to set that position right, which they haven't got right in a long time, then all will be well in New York.
But my return served to you, Marcus, would be this. I mean, they might be 2-15 or 1-16. They're going to have the first or second pick in the draft. They're not going to move up. They're going to be bad enough to get it, even without packaging first round unless they want to make a trade for a quarterback. I'm not sure that that's the route for them to go.
I honestly have no idea, but now you do have the capital if you wanted to. The other thing is this too, within this roster, and look, cornerbacks are valuable. I'm not taking anything away from that. The line of scrimmage got to get better for you all. The injuries have played a part in that on the offensive line, but you look at these teams that's ascending, right? You look at these young teams look at New England, right? Drafted Drake May, didn't play early. Now they're playing well. Offensive line playing really good. They drafted a offensive tackle from LSU, Campbell, at the third pick. These things take time. They traded for Trayvon Diggs. They had a lot of money in free agency. They made the right decisions. For the Jets going forward, this is going to be about making the right decisions and evaluating players that can help you in premium positions, cornerback being one of those. But you hopefully think that you can go out and find a guy that can play that position at a high level. But you have to have these other things that we're talking about. So I get it. I understand what you're saying about having the high draft pick and trying to get the quarterback, but there's more to the story. And if you're not going to use it on the quarterback, why not use it to go get a really good left tackle or a really good guard or a really good center, or even go get another cornerback on a rookie deal where you're not paying what you were paying Sauce and you build with money as well. So I think it's a lot of outcomes that can happen. But I promise you this is one thing I can promise you, if people are reeling about this. As good as Sauce Gardner was, he wasn't going to win. He wasn't going to change the way y'all losing games right now.
Mm-hmm. Now, my question to you, I mean, you're looking at it with a different eye than us. I had a lot of people call and say, Gardner's not physical. He doesn't get turnovers, doesn't like to tackle. Yep. Do you think he's a great player? Did the Jets trade a great player?
I think he's a really good cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
And we have that tendency to nitpick when we start seeing things change, right? But we all are, like in football, when you're on the field, you're a byproduct of people you're around. I played next to DeMarcus Ware for 8 years in Dallas. I was a hell of a lot better player because he was on the field, right? But when you have all of these issues going on defensively and you don't have, guys around, you don't have another guy on the other side, you don't have the rush that you want to have, it becomes a bit more difficult to play those positions. That's why it's the ultimate team game. Sauce Gardner is a really good corner. And you know why I know that, Mike? Because coaches say that he's a really good corner. GMs say that he's a really good corner. And you know what else says he's a really good corner? Although people are complaining, 2 first-round picks and a player says he's a really good corner. So, it's always popular to talk about how bad the guy is when he leaves. People had the audacity to say Michael Parsons wasn't that good when Dallas traded him. And that's just what people do. I guess that's their coping mechanism. But us on the ground, we know what Michael Parsons means when he's on the football field. I know what Sauce Gardner means when he's on the football field. Sometimes franchise-wise, organizationally, it is better sometimes for you to move on from those guys because now you're talking about building an entire roster and you can use them to go into areas of deep discomfort where you are right now as an organization.
Now let's look at it from the other side, Marcus. Marcus Spears, our guest on the Michael K. Show. Did Indianapolis overpay for cornerback? 2 first-round draft picks and a starting wide receiver. Did they overpay?
I probably would some way agree with that. I put a premium on first-round draft picks. I put a premium on sending young players away especially when you're a team that seemingly is going to be in the hunt this year. But again, internally, you identify a position that may help put you over the top of what you already have. Here's what they have in Indy. They got a really good defensive line. They got a good linebacking core. They needed some help on the back end. And he could absolutely go in with the way those guys get after the passer and potentially turn into Sauce Gardner that started his career early with the Jets, coincidentally having really good defensive line, having really good linebackers, and being able to play with an offense that's putting points on the board as well gives him opportunity. So it all plays hand in hand. I never isolate. Mike, listen, bro, we know you've been around football long enough to know Sauce Gardner is a really good cornerback. Like that, that's not a conversation that we need to have. Did they overpay? Maybe, but they overpaid probably because of where they are right now as opposed to where they could be or where they think they could be. They think they can win now. They think they have a chance to be contending for a Super Bowl championship this year. And you go get a corner like him and pair it with what you already have, you can make a justifiable argument that this move may have put us over the top.
All right, in closing, so the Jets trade a guy who they signed to a contract extension. Doesn't it make sense then for them to trade Breece Hall, who's not signed?
Capital is the question for the Jets. And how much do they value, one, the running back? Do they think they can still be really good there? And 2, how much compensation will you get for Breece Hall?
Right.
And let's not beat around the bush. This is a teardown. And I think they need to. I think the worst place to be, and I think I might have said this to you, Michael, I might have on one of the 1,000 shows that I do a week. The worst place to be as an organization is in the gray area. You either need to be really bad so you can identify what you got and start to build, or you need to be a good team that may be a few pieces away from contending for a championship. The Jets have been living in the gray area forever. Really good defense, never could get the offense going. Offense still not going. Defense now starting to slip by the wayside. It's a teardown. It's a redo. It's to try to reface. It's like a house. The house foundationally is not well. So we got to bring this thing down to the studs and rebuild. And fans hate that, and I get it, and I understand why. And it reeks of incompetency. It reeks of missing on draft picks. It reeks of missing in free agency and all of that type of stuff. But the reality is the reality. These are the things that they need to do to try to rebuild the foundation and set a new course. And it is painful when you're going through it, but it's also painful to live in it forever. So you got to make a decision.
Great stuff. Love you, Marcus. Thanks for coming on.
All right, brother. Love you. Talk to you next week.
All right. That's Marcus Spears. His report brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We'll talk more about this, obviously, the story of the day. If you just joined us, if you just got in the car or turned on the ESPN New York app, Sauce Gardner has been traded by the Jets to the Indianapolis Colts for 2 first-round draft picks and a wide receiver. Hey, FanDuel is putting you in control right from NBA tip-off, because every day to start the season, you get to choose your reward. Take your shot with a profit boost, play it cool with a no-sweat bet, or get a little backup with a bet token. Maybe you're the bold one always chasing the big parlay for a big payout. Or maybe you're the careful strategist who plays it smart with a no-sweat bet. However you choose to play, make your pick, get in the game, and play it your way. Head to FanDuel.com/K to make your choice. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same day and next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. J. Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
YouTube TV customers, get the sports you love on ESPN back, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, the NBA, college basketball, and more. Act now. Go to keepmynetworks.com to get ESPN back.
Tire care shouldn't come with extra costs or surprise fees. It should be simple, straightforward, and stress-free. So at Midas, they're rolling out the limited lifetime tire guarantee, included with every tire purchase with paid installation. You'll pay nothing for flat repairs, nada for flat replacements, zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles, and zero for other preventative maintenance. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the limited lifetime tire guarantee, only at Midas.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team. Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
Well, Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 7 p.m., the Rangers host the Hurricanes at Madison Square Garden. See if they can win at home. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. right here on ESPN New York. At 7 p.m., the Islanders host the Bruins at UBS Arena. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Well, what Marcus Spears just said is quite illuminating. He said this is a teardown, which means it's going to take a long time, Jet fans. It's a teardown. But here's my concern. This contracting crew or construction crew or developer walked into this house, said, yeah, I like the bones here. We can make this work. Yeah. Now, after buying the house, they now say, oh, this is a teardown. We got to go right down to the studs. So did they misevaluate it when they took over? Did they think they could win right away or be competitive right away? And now they find out that they can't? Because remember, if they evaluated incorrectly, these are the same people that are going to have to pick the quarterback. These are the same people that are entrusted with these 2 extra first-round picks. They have 4 over the next 2 years. These are the people. Glenn and Muji. There was no talk about a teardown. None when they took over. Obviously, the quarterback is the most important thing. But if you're doing a teardown, trade Garrett Wilson too. Trade Breece Hall. That's a teardown. So you're keeping these nice pieces offensively when your offense is awful. I don't know if I feel comfortable with this football operations to be the people that are going to do the teardown, because they didn't talk about teardown when they got the job. I mean, was it talked about behind the scenes? As Marcus Spears said, everybody lies, which is true. I've said over the last couple of weeks or so, why do we even talk to coaches or GMs or managers? They're not telling the truth, and they shouldn't. Why are they giving you the playbook? But no mention was ever made about teardowns. And by the way, so we're in the middle of a teardown, and the organization has the absolute gall to raise ticket prices? It's not going to get better next year. You just traded one of your best defensive players. And you're still going to raise ticket prices. Interesting. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out. 1-800-919-3776. We'll go to Joe in Staten Island. Joe.
Hey, Mike. Good morning. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm great, Joe. How about you?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to say, I hear a lot of these fans, and I'm from Staten Island, New York. I love the Jets. I'm 31 years old, and I've always loved the Jets. They've been rebuilding basically my whole life, and I really think the biggest problem with this whole thing is not the ownership, the GM and the coach. That anyone who knows football knows that this is not going to last. They're going to obviously have to replace these people. And Sauce, we were never going to win in his time frame, even sniffing the playoffs. So the fact that we could get 2 first-round picks back, the most important thing is to get the guys in there that are going to pick the right people, because what we're doing right now is not working. It doesn't.
But, Joe,
make
let me
sense.
stop you for a second, okay? Because I hear you clearly. You know that this group of people is making that pick next year, though.
I do, and I just want to say that we picked the wrong coach this year. Why would we go with a first-time head coach, defensive head coach? We just went from that with Saleh. If we were going to be serious about this year, you would want to pair the quarterback and an offensive coach. Justin Fields has had a lot of different coaching styles in his career so far, and nothing has worked because obviously no one sticks with him. But there's been no offensive minds that are willing to really put in the work with him. What is Aaron Glenn doing for Justin Fields? I know it's off topic, but I think we should trade for Olave, and we should give Justin Fields another chance. And I think that we should use those draft picks and actually get some real weapons. Like the Giants, they got Neighbors. Everyone thought that was a crazy pick at the time, but look what that did for the city. It gave us some hope. Now he's hurt, but it gave hope. That's what we need. The Jets fans need hope.
Well, you have a top-flight, highly respected wide receiver in Garrett Wilson that you gave a big-time extension to. I wouldn't trade for Olave. He's concussion-prone. What are you using draft capital for him? Why would I bring in a veteran wide receiver when I'm not going anywhere? We're talking about a teardown, and you're going to add a wide receiver who's injury-prone? That makes no sense at all. The Giants don't really have a big-time wide receiver with Malik Neighbors out, and you don't want to leave Dart out there on an island alone. So I could see maybe investing some small draft capital in that. But for the Jets, that makes no sense at all. None. So you're saying they made a mistake with the coach, which means they made a mistake with the GM because the coach brought in the GM, signed off on the GM. Well, then we're really in a lot of trouble. 15 is going to turn into 18 years. And nothing happens until you get a big-time quarterback. And who's that big-time quarterback coming out of college? Who? We're going to talk to Paul Finebaum about that in just a moment. Get his take. Okay, they've got this draft capital. Now they can move up and get the quarterback. Who? The kid from Indiana? That the guy? Is that the guy that's going to turn it all around for you? We'll get the take from Paul Finebaum in just a moment. So stay tuned. The K-Show rolls till 3 on ESPN New York.
Hey, bro. Weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Shorter days don't have to be so dismal. It's time to reach out and check in with those you care about, and to remind ourselves that we're not alone. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for many. This November, BetterHelp's encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. Short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and preferences, and our 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from our tailored recommendations. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is live when others aren't. New customers, bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Clinton Yates here. The holidays are upon us, and so are the savings at Total Wine & More. Discover thousands of wines, spirits, and beers like my favorite, IPAs, perfect for every celebration and every budget. From bold reds to sparklers, you'll find the perfect wines to raise a glass this season. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find only at Total Wine & More. Curbside pickup and delivery available in most areas. See TotalWine.com for details. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Welcome back to the Michael K. Show. The big story today, Sauce Gardner traded by the Jets to the Colts for 2 first-round draft picks and a wide receiver. And obviously the thought process is that the Jets are going to be in the market for a quarterback this year. They might have the #1 pick without trading another first-round draft pick to move up because, they just have one victory this year, although they'll play the Browns this weekend. And it's a perfect time to talk to our good friend Paul Finebaum and get his take on what's out there for them. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Michael, I am doing great. What another exciting day for the Jets. Who wants to be your quarterback?
So my question to you is, right now, the quarterback that everybody's looking at that we know is going to be available is Fernando Mendoza of Indiana. Is he worth the first pick in the draft the way you look at it, the people you talk to? Is he that good?
He's good, but I don't see it. And the biggest issue I have with him, and this is for anybody that was talking about Indiana, they played one good team. Now, they have been dominating. They've been outstanding, but I would like to see him against some elite defenses, because I've seen a lot of good quarterbacks look great until they see good defenses, which they'll see every Sunday. The only time they may not see one is at practice if they're on the Jets.
So who do you like otherwise? Again, there are a lot of quarterbacks that could come out. We're not sure if they would come out. Who would be on your top 5 list, Paul?
Yeah, what's interesting is if you go back 8 weeks, Michael, the 2 best quarterbacks in college football were Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier, and they have both fallen out of the top 5. I like John Mateer from Oklahoma. He came back probably too early from a thumb injury. He was at Washington State a year ago, but he played. He led his team to a win at Knoxville on Saturday night, which is very significant. He has a really good chance to lead Oklahoma to the playoffs. So to me, He may not rank number one, but I think he's very good. Ty Simpson from Alabama has probably been the biggest shock all year. He looks like a pro quarterback. He was not expected to be all that great. He has emerged. So I think as of this date in early November, I don't think you can really tell. And I know that sounds a little bit like a cop-out, but it has changed so many different times in college football. So I think if Mateer can continue to come back from this injury, I probably like him more than anybody.
It's interesting, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but just from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like the type of draft that you're going to get goosebumps over the quarterbacks that are going to come out. I don't see, a seminal quarterback, a guy that's going to change the fortunes of a franchise. Am I off base on that?
No, you're 100% correct, and that's why I'm struggling to give you one that I would go with today. And I think there's still 2 months left with the playoffs, so I think you're going to have a really good idea when you get – because right now, unless you're in the SEC – you're not seeing elite defenses every week. The Big Ten just doesn't have them. And Indiana will see a better defense this week at Penn State, but by no means what they will see against Ohio State. And it's really the only way to tell. And it's so dysfunctional right now because of the disproportionate aspect of all the different leagues. But there is not that generational quarterback. There's not Joe Burrow. There's not one of those guys, Kyler Murray. There's not somebody that is worth risking your entire franchise for right now.
Now, since last we talked, there's just been so many college coaches that have been fired, and the buyouts are just extraordinarily high. How long can the sport continue to support this kind of ineptitude by athletic directors and presidents throwing this kind of money around, which, for some public colleges are taxpayer money?
Yeah, in essence, that is true. But right now, and for those who don't follow this stuff, we have seen James Franklin at about $52 million and Brian Kelly at $54 million. That is what they are being paid to go away. 3 years ago, Jimbo Fisher walked away with $76 million. And what happens is you essentially have a monopoly in college football. You have two agents, and they control the entire landscape. So they make these deals, and if you're one of these top agents, you go to the athletic director and say, hey, give my guy a deal, and if not, I'll take him away. And they every one of these athletic directors make the same stupid decision. And it was not even a story this week when the coach at Auburn got fired, and his buyout was only $15 million. His predecessor was 19, and I think the previous guy at Auburn, they fired about 20 coaches in a row, but the last three I think have had almost $60 million in buyout. And this is just dead money. It doesn't help anyone. It's just literally going to a coach who failed, and not just failed on average, failed miserably.
Now, this story just coming in, Paul, if I could tell our listeners, more breaking news. The Cowboys are trading for Jets Pro Bowl defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, sending a first-round draft pick and more to the New York Jets. So the Jets, we just had Marcus Spears on, Paul. They said they're obviously just tearing it down. So they trade Sauce Gardner. They trade Quinnen Williams as well, a clear indication that they're pretty much starting from scratch, and they're in year one right now. So their 15-year run of not making the playoffs is going to go a lot longer than that, Paul.
Yeah, and I covered Quinnen Williams when he was at Alabama, and I don't understand it. But then again, Michael, you live there. This is not. It's breaking news that they're making a trade. It's not breaking news that they continue to try to start over again. It's really downright sad as somebody who used to root for the Jets but can no longer. I think I may be speaking for the entire city.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. Before I let you go, there are a lot of rumors out here that, Brian Daboll, this might be it for him. The Giants have underperformed, although the quarterback looks great. Is there a chance that Lane Kiffin would get another run? And is that somebody the Giants should look to? Because obviously the connection between Dart and Kiffin and Ole Miss.
I would. Lane Kiffin right now is the most attractive coach in college football. He could literally take any job he wants. But knowing Lane, and I know him very well, Michael, he always felt a little bit left out by his experience with the Raiders. For those who don't remember, he was the youngest coach in college football. He was barely 30 when Al Davis hired him a number of years ago, and it ended disastrously. But Lane Kiffin was a very immature coach. He is a superb coach right now, and I think he would be interested. The relationship with Jackson Dart, he got him out of California and turned him into a superb quarterback. And it's interesting that Dable, I think, followed Kiffin at Alabama under Nick Saban. But there's no comparison between Brian Dable and Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is an infinitely better coach than Brian Dable. I don't think I need to convince you of that.
Am I off base to say, Paul, that NFL teams might be outbid by some colleges to pay the coaches a certain amount of money? I mean, it seems like colleges are throwing $10, $15 million at a coach. NFL teams don't do that often.
No, right now Lane Kiffin is being wooed by both LSU and Florida, and he could get, I'm guessing, $12 million guaranteed long-term deal, $100 million deal. I mean, he could get the biggest deal in college football without blinking an eye. The issue has been he has not wanted to leave Ole Miss, where he moved his entire family from California, where he used to live. But I think you just nailed something right there. I'm just going to say I believe Lane Kiffin would be intrigued, especially to work with Dart. And I think that the idea of being in New York would be attractive to him. He likes a small town. He's done well. He's had he's been very open about being a recovering alcoholic. But Lane Kiffin at 50 is not the same Lane Kiffin in his 30s that flamed out not only at the Raiders, but also got fired at Southern Cal.
He seems whip smart from the outside looking in. You said you know him quite well. He's also quick with a quip. Would he play in New York with the New York media?
He's quirky, but I think he would. Listen, I don't know Dable as well as I do him, but I think he would work. He's funny. He's the king of social media. And I don't think he would have a problem. I honestly never thought about this until you brought it up, but I frankly love the idea.
Great stuff, Paul. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time as always.
It was our pleasure. Thank you. See you
got
Michael.
It. So that's Paul Finebaum, and let's recap. The quarterback situation is not a glowing one. Joe Burrow's not coming out of LSU. It's not that quarterback. It's just not. Trevor Lawrence, who, has not been what we thought he was going to be, is not coming out in the draft. It's not Peyton Manning coming out in the draft. It's not Ryan Leaf, although that turned out to be poor. But there's not that high-profile quarterback that's coming out that you feel good about. Oh, that's my number one pick. That's not the quarterback that's out there. You can't look at the kid from Indiana and say, yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy. He gave you the other names. Mateer, Simpson. We don't even know if they're coming out. They don't have to come out. So this might be the bad year for the Jets to be 2-15 and get the number one pick. There's no clear-cut franchise quarterback. Now, the other thing that comes out of it, Paul Finebaum knows Kiffin very well. He thinks that Kiffin would be interested in the Giant job if that job became available. All of a sudden, you're hooking up Kiffin with Dart, and those two made it work in Ole Miss to the point that Dart became a first-round draft pick, and he shows that he's pretty much ready to play in the NFL after his time at Ole Miss. But as we were talking with Paul, the Jets' second big blockbuster trade, they are trading Quinnen Williams, Pro Bowl defensive tackle, to the Cowboys for a first-round pick. Now, you wonder, are the Cowboys throwing good money after bad? Are the Cowboys good enough to make a run for it? Making a trade like this. Now, they did pick up a first-round draft pick in the Micah Parsons deal, but Ian Rappaport is saying that they expect this to be the Cowboys' first-round draft pick rather than the Packers' first-round draft pick. So that means it's going to be more valuable because the Packers are going to have a better record than the Cowboys, so the Cowboys' first-round draft pick will be much higher than the Packers. So Jerry could say, well, I keep a first-round draft pick because I got the Packers pick, and now I'm going to get Quinnen Williams, who's a top-flight player. The Jets very clearly, everybody, what's happening here, we're seeing it in real time. They've given up on the season. They are tearing it down to the studs, and they're going to start from scratch. Now, was this team that bad? I remember all of us on the station talking before the season began and said, you know what, the Jets are in a better situation than the Giants. They have more talent. They have a coach that, the future seems bright. Everybody seems high on Aaron Glenn. But now the Giants are ahead of the Jets by a lot, even if they do get rid of Brian Daboll. Why? Because they have their franchise quarterback, it looks like, in Jackson Dart. What do the Jets have? They don't have Quinnen Williams anymore. They don't have Sauce Gardner anymore. They're collecting picks. They have 3 first-round draft picks coming up in the next draft, in a draft that does not seem like you can procure a franchise-type quarterback. So where are the Jets? We don't even know if Aaron Glenn's a legitimate head coach. We don't know what kind of talent evaluator he is because he's the guy who brought in the quarterback that's not going to be good enough to move forward. That's Justin Fields, who's not even good enough for you to actually announce he's going to be starting this week against Cleveland. So what exactly are Jet fans getting? What's the bang for their buck? They are turning over 3 first-round draft picks. They've traded 2 star players in Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. They've traded those 2 star players for draft capital, and the people that are making the picks, do you feel confident that these people are good enough? Do you feel confident that these people are smart enough to make those picks? Is that what you feel good about? That's the big question right now. Because you can get all the draft picks you want, but if you don't trust the people making the picks, then how could you feel good about the future of the team? How? So we're closing in on about an hour and a half to go to 4 o'clock trade deadline in the NFL, and you usually don't see trades like this in the NFL where star players are moving. They're moving, especially from the Jets, Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. So the Jets, this is a dumpster fire right now. And you can say, well, the future is bright. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So here is the first-round draft pick for the Cowboys, from the Cowboys is in 2027. The next draft, in 2026, they get the Cowboys' second-round draft pick. So the Jets don't have 3 first-round draft picks at this point. They have the first-round draft pick, 2 first-round draft picks, and 2 second-round draft picks, and then they get the Cowboys' first-round draft pick in 2027, according to Diana Rossini of The Athletic. So a lot of things happening right now. Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys, Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts, and the Jets to the scrap heap. I mean, what can you hang your hat on if you're a Jet fan? Now you're dealing in the currency of hope. And I'd like to ask each and every one of you, you can all join me, what's your level of confidence? What's your level of hope with Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn? Because so far, it has not been impressive. This culture change that we were promised, I don't see it. I see a team that makes the same mistakes that they made under Robert Saleh. Same mistakes. The guy that you said was a foundational piece of the team, Sauce Gardner, when you signed him to an extension, you traded him for 2 first-round draft picks and a wide receiver. Not that it's a good deal to get for a cornerback, but you just removed a foundational piece from what you're building. So what are you building? It seems like you're building something on sand. Any Jet fan out there, please, I want to hear from you that feels confident in the firm of Muji and Glenn to make the picks that are going to turn this around. Let's go to Charlie in Allendale. Charlie, talk to me.
Hey, thanks for getting me on. I definitely don't feel confident in this regime. I mean, they've given me nothing to feel confident for except moving on from Sauce Gardner and getting this. This had to happen. He is not a cornerback that is worth $31 million. They had to escape this contract.
Okay, let me stop you, and I'll let you finish your point because I want to throw this at you. They gave him the money, Charlie. The same people that just traded him gave him the money.
I was disgusted when it happened, and I was concerned with that move, but I am happy at least they see it. They have to move on from it, and they had to get rid of him. They can't move forward with that kind of contract with how much work this team needs. I mean, it was the first right move I think the team made in a long time.
But doesn't that make you scared, Charlie, as a Jet fan, that the firm of Muji and Glenn gave him that money, and then that money was so onerous they had to trade him? These are the same people that make the picks.
I'm terrified of what this team's going to do moving forward, but at least this had to be done. There's no question about it. It's the only chance we had. We had to do this. 2 first-round picks for how bad this guy plays? This guy he is not a top 5 cornerback in the NFL. That's clear.
And you've always felt this way. It's not just off this year.
No, last year. I mean, I don't know how you I don't know how you pay somebody that kind of money after last year, what he resembled last year. I mean, he had to show me one.
And I hear
one
you.
more year at least.
And that's my greatest fear, Charlie. The people that gave him the money are the people that are going to make these picks. So the Jets now have 2 first-round draft picks in 2026, 2 second-round draft picks in 2026, and 3 first-round draft picks in 2027. Is this the group that's going to make those picks? So if we're going to go all in with Glenn and Muji, we have to believe in them that they're going to make the smart picks. So far, have they given you any indication that they know what's going on? So Charlie just said that contract had to be moved. They gave him that contract. They didn't have to give him that contract. They still could have traded him. They still could have traded him off his rookie deal. Now, the contract, the way it's structured, it's not a lot of guaranteed money. But still, they're the team that gave it to him. This day and the acquisition of these draft picks, the entire onus on the future of the Jets is going to be on Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn. That's it. That's what it comes down to. How smart are they? What kind of football minds are they? Because they're taking the best talent on a bad team and getting rid of it. You can't question the talent of Quinnen Williams. A lot of people are questioning the talent of Sauce Gardner, although the Indianapolis Colts are not questioning it at all. They feel that was the move. They gave up all that draft capital for this guy because they want to win the Super Bowl this year. Let's go to Ken in Easton. Ken.
Hey, thank you.
What's going on, Kenny?
Okay, I'm out here in Eastern Pennsylvania, Larry Holmes country.
What's up?
Let me tell you something here now. Mooch and Aaron, okay, I think what they did was to prove to a lot of us who've been calling in and taking the side of it, we're glad that you got rid of these guys. The Sauce, I can't believe how bad the guy is. He's covering on the sideline when they hike the ball, and then the receiver goes right by him, and Sauce starts waving like, pick him up for me. I've seen it 3 or 4 or 5 times. I mean, unbelievable.
All right, so you don't like Sauce Gardner, Kenny, but they gave him the money.
And exactly. They got 2 number ones. And why did they sign him during this summer? They were hoping. I mean, they stand behind the guy. They knew when to cut bait.
We cannot defend them and saying they were hoping. That's not the way to do business. Hope is a really bad plan. It just is. Hope's the worst plan that you could have. They were hoping. You have to make a smart, intelligent, informed decision on who you're keeping and who you're giving money to. Because money will just strangle you in the NFL with the cap. It's not baseball. You can't make a mistake with money. In baseball, you can. Because if you're an organization with money, you can outspend your mistake. In football, it brings you down. So they were hoping. They were looking at tape. They've been in football these last however many years. They know what this guy is. So did they trade a player that they really like because of the 2 first-round draft picks were too enticing? Or did they say to themselves, we really made a mistake in the evaluation? Because if they made a mistake in the evaluation, if that doesn't concern you, then I don't know what will. I don't know what would concern you. These are the guys that are going to be making the decisions on all these draft picks. And please don't tell me it's Muji. I think that Glenn is the boss of Muji. You don't hire a coach first and then a GM second if the coach is not the one that's above the GM. Aaron Glenn signed off on Muji. So Aaron Glenn wanted to sign Wilson, wanted to sign Sauce Gardner. So did he misevaluate these guys? Did he evaluate them so poorly that there's no way you could look at Quinnen Williams and say he's not a big-time player. He's a Pro Bowl player. Sauce Gardner, you gave all that money to, so you had to think highly of him. So the Jets are going to tear this down to the studs and start all over again. So they're going to start from 0. You know how long it's going to take to build up? And again, there's not a franchise quarterback out there in the college ranks. There's not. And you just heard what Paul Finebaum said, because Fernando Mendoza has had a really good year. But the Big Ten doesn't have great defense. We'll see how he does against Penn State, which is a little bit better of a defense than you see in the Big Ten. But he's not playing in the SEC. Let's see what Mendoza is when he plays against really good defenses. So out of nowhere, Cignetti has turned this guy into a big-time quarterback that's going to lead a football team to glory in the NFL? I don't know. I've got to see. I'm not feeling great about it. I'm not feeling great about the college quarterbacks. This is not the year to tear it down to the studs to get yourself a quarterback. And again, the firm of Muji and Glenn thought that Justin Fields was a quarterback that could be salvaged. How's that working out? So this is from Adam Schefter. Jets' future draft picks after today's trade. Their first-round draft pick in 2026, Indianapolis' first-round draft pick, the Jets' second-round draft pick, Dallas' second-round pick. In 2027, they have their own first-round draft pick, Dallas' first-round draft pick, and Indianapolis' first-round draft pick. So if you look at it that way, are they aiming for a quarterback in 2027? And if they are, guess what? The rebuild takes even longer. It takes even longer. We feel that confident in Glenn and Muji that we're going to invest 5 years of our fandom in those two guys. What have they shown you so far that makes you confident that, yeah, they're the ones? What I've seen from Glenn is a guy who promises big, has under-delivered, and he's been really, really difficult with the media, which I don't care. But is he built for New York? I mean, these 10 sessions that he has with them, it's none of your business. You'll find out when I announce it, stuff like that. That doesn't play in New York unless you win. And they have done nothing but lose. If you're going to have that sort of a relationship with the media, you better be great. You know why Bill Belichick got away with being a jerk? Because he was a great coach. You can't be a jerk if all you do is lose. It's a bad tack to take. And Aaron Glenn seems like he's listing toward being really difficult with the media. And that's really not a smart play when all your team does is lose. You have shown no ability at this point to turn this around. And now the turnaround got even longer. There's no way the Jets thought and Woody Johnson thought that when this guy took over that it was going to be a 3 or 4 year deal. And if you made the wrong pick with these guys, 3 or 4 years turns into 8. Because if you have to get rid of them after they use all this draft capital and the team still stinks, then you're talking about 8 years. Then you're talking about 20 years, 22 years without making the playoffs. Now, the book is not written on Aaron Glenn by no stretch of the imagination. I'm not one of those guys where they got to get rid of him at the end of this year. But you better be damn sure that this is the guy that you really, truly believe in if you're going to let him make these picks. Because if he makes these picks and misses on them and the Jets are still bad, we're talking about a team that will not be a contending team until the 2030s. Think about that. We'll be back.
Listen. At Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bathfitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
Michelle's Moment here for Gainbridge and their Give Back program, Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity. Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity's goal is to empower girls and women through sports and education, providing 32 organizations in 21 states $222 of grant funding during 2025. These grants aim to level the playing field and expand access to sports and education for girls and women across the country. Here's to a future with no limits for women's sports with Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Well, ESPN New York is giving you the chance to experience UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden on November 15th. One grand prize winner and a guest will score tickets to the ESPN New York suite, hosted by Peter Rosenberg. Enjoy the energy of the Garden, the comfort of a private suite, and world-class UFC action alongside, one of New York's biggest sports personalities, not in height, but just in terms of stature. To enter, find the contest tile on the ESPN New York app to submit your entry. It's brought to you by Bud Light, proud to be the official beer sponsor of UFC. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Let's go back. Let's go to the way back machine. October 8th, 2024, when Woody Johnson let go of Robert Saleh. Here's what the owner of the Jets said about his team. How bad does that sound now? Or how bad does it make Glenn and Muji look? So after 5 games last year, a little over a year ago, right? After 5 games, this is the most talented roster they'd ever assembled. And now you're breaking it down to the studs. So how wrong were you? Or how wrong were you in bringing in this group that didn't agree with you? This group obviously does not agree with your assessment, because why would you break up the most talented roster you'd ever had? So you hired 2 men to change the culture, and they obviously think that what you said was ridiculous, that this team is not talented, that they'd rather, essentially invest in hope. Rather than the feet they have on the ground, the players that they have in uniform right now, they'd rather get draft picks, hope, air, until exercised. So did you pick the wrong people? Because if you did, then these draft picks even seem more sketchy. And if you pick the right people, then that flies in the face of what you said, saying that this is the most talented roster you ever had. Listen, I'm not a Jet fan. I don't hate them. But if you're a Jet fan, what do you think? I mean, what can you hang your hat on? This is an absolute dumpster fire joke. The way you've lost games, the way the coach deals with the media. He's trying to be Bill Parcells. But as Parcells would say, Parcells had the pelts. He could be truculent with the media because he was a winner. And he hosted 2 Super Bowl titles. Bill Belichick could be an absolute jerk in New England. We're on to Cincinnati. Didn't ever answer a question. All he had to do was wave the rings at you. How's that being a jerk playing now in North Carolina when he doesn't win? You can't be that guy if you've done nothing to be that guy. And I'm not taking away from Aaron Glenn's playing career, which was distinguished, nor his assistant coaching time, especially with the Detroit Lions, where they played quite well. The defense was stout. But that doesn't mean that you get to act like this and spar all the time with the media when you have nothing on your resume at this point as a head coach. Nothing. Let's go to Anthony in Hoboken. Anthony.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Anthony.
Man, going into this week, right, we're about to play Cleveland. I mean, the team has looked better, right? We've went down in penalties, defense stepping up. Obviously we still give up the explosive play, but this has looked like a better team. And now we trade a foundational piece, someone that all offseason has been told, hey, this is going to be someone we build around. Q, right? Why not trade him to Micah Parsons and get an actual real return on investment? This is no different than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was 7-10. Justin Fields is another quarterback that has untapped potential that we just don't know if we can, make him a consistent quarterback. I've been a Jets fan for 2 years, and for these past 2 years, I feel like this is the worst.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I wasn't a real football fan.
Okay.
I got in to be closer with my dad. And man, I don't know what. I don't know what made me make that decision to become a Jets fan.
Well, you know what? Now you have to live with it. I mean, you mentioned they should have made a trade for Micah Parsons. Well, no, that doesn't make sense if you're tearing it down to the studs because you got to pay Micah Parsons. So that doesn't quite jive. What are they doing? You can't serve 2 masters. You got to decide what you're going to be. And right now they're deciding they're going to be really bad. I think they're going to be really bad for a couple of years. And it all comes down to do you have faith in these guys to turn it around? That's what it comes down to. Eddie in Brooklyn. Eddie.
Mike, what's up?
How you doing, Ed?
I'm doing good, Mike. Hey, the last time I spoke to you was 2009 when the Yankees won a championship, and I just want to make a comment real quick. Man, I'm 55. I've been listening to sports and watching since I was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes down to baseball, there's no one like you. Okay.
Thank you.
Now to those delusional Jet fans. I've been a Jet fan since 1980, Mike. Since 1980. It's just another merry-go-round. You're absolutely, positively, 1,001% correct. Absolutely. And then one more quick thing, Mike, on the Knicks. Man, they're looking good, and we knew that it was going to take a little bit of time, and I'm sticking with my pick. The Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. I'll call you in May, Mike, and I hope I'm right. Love you, brother.
All right, Eddie. Well, they looked good yesterday. They didn't look good on the road, losing 3 in a row, but they've won back-to-back games at home. Next game's going to be they have a game against Brooklyn, so that'll be another win. I don't know if they look great. I think it's a work in progress, but that's why I'm not opining that much and that strongly about what Mike Brown's trying to do. I mean, we're 7 games in. It's an 82-game season, and he's changing things around. It's going to take time. Let's go to Alvin in Jersey City. Alvin.
Hey, Mike, big-time fan. How you doing today?
I'm good. How about you, man?
Great. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, Mike, before we get into the Jets, I just have a really quick question. They moved your slot from 3 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and I never understood why. Just curious. As a fan, I'm always listening.
Because
sorry.
Because
Even better.
I just couldn't continue to do an afternoon drive show and do the Yankees, so I was going to step away, and then they offered me this gig, and it's been great. I love it.
Even better. I was just curious. Now, I just wanted to talk about the Jets, and I know how you feel about Glenn. And for the last few weeks, he's been saying he's been making questionable calls. He hasn't lived up to the promise. However, I feel as though getting rid of Sauce is not a bad deal. I mean, let's be honest. Sauce, he hasn't really got any interceptions the last 2 years. I'm scared when he tries to tackle someone. Maybe this is probably the most positive thing that happened to the Jets all year, if I'm being quite frank. I mean, that extension you spoke about earlier, maybe it was a good faith, but let's be honest, we're not winning with him, so we might as well get rid of him. And you've been saying when will we be good? We haven't been good for the last 10, 15 years, so does it really matter? So I mean, we're hanging our hats on draft picks. So I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy, and I'd rather get air than get suffocated. As that, I know you've been saying, can we exercise it? I'd rather get air than be suffocated at 1-7 or whatever our record is.
Well, you know
and
what?
I think
I'm not against the team getting first-round draft picks, but I have to have confidence in the people that are making those selections that they know what they're doing. And I'm not against trading Sauce Gardner for 2 first-round draft picks and a wide receiver. That's not a bad deal. It's a good deal. But this is a guy that just months ago you said is a foundational piece of what you're trying to do. So did you just misjudge everything, misevaluate everything? Because if you did, now you're the people that are making these picks. You're the same people that thought Justin Fields was the answer at quarterback. It's the toughest guy I ever had to game plan against when I was the defensive coordinator of the Lions. Well, how's he looking so far? This was a foundational piece. Months later, he's traded. How foundational was he? Right now, the foundation's in quicksand. There is no foundation. By the way, the Knicks play the Minnesota Timberwolves next. Timberwolves just beat the Nets last night. Nets are 0-7. And then they play the Knicks. So Timberwolves next, and then the Nets. So I misspoke. 1-800-919-3776. Jets with all the big moves today, trading Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams. By the end of our show, there'll be 1 hour left in the NFL trade deadline. Maybe the Jets do more. Maybe the Giants start to do something as well. Hahn and Rosenberg will be all over it, as you know, starting at 3 o'clock. Hey, FanDuel is putting you in control right from NBA tip-off, because every day to start the season, you get to choose your reward. Take your shot with a profit boost, play it cool with a no-sweat bet, or get a little backup with a bet token. Maybe you're the bold one, always chasing the big parlay for a big payout. Or maybe you're the careful strategist who plays it smart with a no-sweat bet. However you choose to play, make your pick, get in the game, and play it your way. Head to FanDuel.com/K to make your choice. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
My dad is bringing home the best birthday cake ever.
It was my 5th birthday, and my dad was bringing home the cake.
Should have been here a half hour ago.
The cake never made it, and neither did my dad.
911, what's your emergency?
That was the day a drunk driver killed my dad.
Daddy?
Impaired drivers take lives. Think.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee. Aired in cooperation with the New York State Broadcasters Association.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, 24/7 service, and up to 30 days to pay your invoice. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, New York and New Jersey's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomins.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Shorter days don't have to be so dismal. It's time to reach out and check in with those you care about. And to remind ourselves that we're not alone. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for many. This November, BetterHelp's encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. Short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and preferences, and our 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from our tailored recommendations. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250.
YouTube TV customers get the sports you love on ESPN back, including college football, college game.
Cool gifts for everyone on your list. For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snuggly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online. And step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
All right, so it's all about the Jets today as they trade Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. Reports are saying that Quinnen Williams wanted out, said he did not want an extension, wanted to redo his contract. The Jets refused. So he gets traded to the Cowboys. Now Jordan Schultz is reporting that Breece Hall has told the Jets he wants to be traded. A little over 1 hour until the deadline, but Breece, quote, wants to be out, close quote. So let's see if the Jets do that. Makes sense. They've got other running backs. And again, if you're going to break it down to the studs and get exactly what you can get. Now, if you don't get a big return, then keep them and take it from there. But if you can get a decent return, why not? Team's not going anywhere. And you do have running backs behind him. According to Diana Rossini, the Jets' asking price for Breece Hall is a third-round pick. According to a source, teams have yet to meet New York's ask with just over an hour to go until the deadline. Contemporary baseball era committee, 8 guys on the ballot: Mattingly, Bonds, Clemens, Delgado, Kent, Sheffield, Valenzuela, and Dale Murphy. Murphy's got a chance. Bonds and Clemens, it's going to be interesting. There's a 16-person group. Does that group feel as strongly about people that allegedly use PEDs? And they will keep Bonds and Clemens out. Mattingly looks like he has a chance. Last time he was on this ballot was 2022. Got 8 votes. McGriff got in. You need 75% of the 16 votes, so you need 12 to get in. So Mattingly, Bonds, Clemens, Delgado, Kent, Murphy, Sheffield, and Valenzuela. Voting results on December 7th. That's at 7:30 p.m. Alex versus A-Rod, a new documentary, a 3-part documentary on HBO Max. The first episode is November 6th, premiere last night for the first episode. It's really, really well done, high-end. The best I could say is that Alex definitely opens up a vein here. I even asked him, why would you do something like this? He said because he wanted his story to be out there. He said so many people have said and written things about him, and now he wants it, in his words. And it's not whitewashed, though. It's not all positive at all. It's quite stark and revealing. So it'll be a 3-part series. November 6th on HBO Max is the first episode. And I did see it last night. The first episode is it's strong, to tell you that. We talk about ratings. Game 7, 10.9 million people averaged in Canada. It peaked at 18.5 million. Now, that's significant because the whole country of Canada is 40 million people. So that means 45% of the people in the country at one point were watching that game. And, we always talk about the NBA being the hip sport, that they're number 2 behind football. I've disagreed with that for a long time. Both sports had Game 7s. So you had Indiana against Oklahoma City, Game 7 for the NBA Finals. And it got 16.4 million. Game 7 in the Major League Baseball averaged 25.9. Now, those are just the initial ratings. It's going to go higher than that. It peaked at over 30 million. So the NBA, which is supposed to be more popular, almost 10 million more people watched Game 7 of the World Series than Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Now, you can talk about market size and all of that. Well, when you consider that Toronto takes away one of the team's market, it's amazing. So you add the 30 million that at one point watched Game 7, and then the 18.5 million that watched it in Canada. We're talking 48.5. We haven't even seen the Japan ratings yet, which is probably going to be close to 20. We're talking close to an AFC or NFC championship game, and probably within 40 million, 20 million of the Super Bowl, which is, something that you can't even think about. But baseball's doing very, very well. That's an impressive Game 7 number compared to the NBA's Game 7. Let's see. Fast and Furious, this information is coming in. According to Matt Miller, an NFL draft scout, the 2027 NFL draft class has the potential to be one of the best ever, and the Jets now have 3 first-round picks to use. My question is, who's making those picks? There was a story in The Athletic. Ian O'Connor got a hold of Brian Cashman and asked him about a rebuild. And Brian said, well, no, we're not in that position. Why would we do that? If I felt it was time for a rebuild, I would say it. And I got to agree, rebuild. You won more games than any team in the American League. You tied with the Blue Jays for the most wins in the American League. Rebuild? Especially when you have a 34-year-old Aaron Judge, you're going to rebuild? Under no circumstances should they rebuild. The last time they even did a small rebuild was in 2016. They did it quickly, and then the next year they were in Game 7 of the ALCS. So Rebuild, I was going to talk a lot about that today. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to even talk about a rebuild for the Yankees. They're not that far away. They're not that far away. You want far away? The Jets, they're far away. Sauce Gardner traded 2 first-round draft picks and a wide receiver from the Colts. And now Quinnen Williams traded to the Cowboys, a second-round draft pick and a first-round draft pick in 2027. The Jets are breaking it down. They're breaking it down to the studs. It's bold, it's dynamic, and the only question is, to me, you can't question trading these people because the team stinks, even with them. So if people are going to hand you first-round draft picks for these players, they have some value. My only question is, do you have the right people in power to make these picks? Because these are the same people I gave the extension to Sauce Gardner. Said he was a foundational piece. These are the same people that looked at Justin Fields and said, yes, that's the guy. That's the guy we want rather than Aaron Rodgers. This is the team where the owner, a little over a year ago, said the most talented team we've ever put together. Something's not right. Something doesn't smell great. Don Hahn and Rosenberg are going to break it down further. Should be very interesting to see what they have to say. That's coming up in moments. We'll be back again tomorrow at 1 for the fallout. An hour to go to the NFL trade deadline at 4 o'clock Eastern. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for a goodbye again. See everybody. Have a great afternoon. Talk to you tomorrow at 1.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why